Okay, a second well-established intervention is essentially individualized behavior management. And three things that have been shown to be really helpful with kids with ADHD. Okay, the first is token economy systems with response cost. Okay, so the response cost component, the idea of taking away tokens, is an important component in the literature. Using token economies without it is not as effective for kids with ADHD. Now, so here's what I'm going to skip ahead. So this is what a token economy requires, as you all know, I'm guessing. Okay, establishing goals, choosing target situations, tokens turned in for privileges, all of those things. All right. Even though you know about token economies, I'm going to talk about number 4 for a second, because the thing that everybody who knows about token economies forgets is that you have to teach kids the value of tokens. So when you implement a token economy, you should give the kids some tokens and let them trade them for what it is they're going to be able to trade them for, so that they know that the tokens actually have value. This is especially important for kids with lower cognitive abilities, but it's important for all kids. Okay, so they need to learn and know that the tokens actually mean something. Okay, is this practical? Well, it's challenging, but I'm going to, so one of the things we can do in schools might be to use something like the attention training system. Has anybody used the attention training system? Okay, the attention training system, you see that little white thing? That's a box that sits on a student's desk, and it flashes digital numbers. It accumulates digital numbers, 1, 2, up through 100. All right? Those numbers represent points or tokens. Okay? The gray thing on the left is the teacher's control module. It's a little remote control. It can control up to 4 of those boxes at a time. Okay? So that box, used in research, sitting on a student's desk, accumulating numbers, and you can set it to accumulate a number every 30 seconds, every minute, every 2 minutes, and you can gradually increase that amount. So the student is told, this is typically used during independent work, independent seat work, and so the student is told, as long as you need to stay engaged and you're going to earn points, and the teacher is going to periodically look up to see how you're doing. If you're engaged, she's not going to do anything, and if you're not engaged, she's going to push the button. The red light on the top of the box will come on, and 1 point will be deducted from your total, and in 20 seconds the numbers will start up again. Okay? So this is an aid to monitoring student progress, or monitoring student behavior, and providing unobtrusive feedback to the student about how she or he is doing. Okay? In controlled studies, in comparing this little device to an effective dose of stimulant medication, the attention training system was as effective in promoting academic engagement and work completion and work accuracy. You could do the same thing without the technology. Okay? So my major advisor in graduate school, his name is Mark Rapport. Before this existed, he invented this. But before that existed, guess what he invented? 2 little rings with cardboard cards on them, and they were numbered 1 through 40. And he made one for the teacher and one for the student. And they each had a little stand that they sat on, one on the student's desk and one on the teacher's desk. And the student was told, you periodically look up at the teacher's desk, and she'll add a card about every 2 minutes. She'll add a number. And if she checks on you and you're not engaged, she'll take 1 number off. And your job as a student is to periodically look up and have your number match the teacher's number. So token economies, either old-fashioned, handmade, hand-delivered, using tokens, using point sheets, those can be very effective with kids with ADHD with particular target behaviors. And your targets, again, would be work completion, work accuracy, active engagement, those kinds of things. Okay, so token economies can be very useful and effective. That's the most effective approach to behavior management that the literature supports for kids with ADHD. And then you have those nuanced approaches to it that make it a little bit more doable. Okay? So that's the response cost part of it. Okay? So the most important part of the response cost is kind of figuring this out. How are we going to lose points? How might we lose points? The most important issue in managing a response cost component is to make sure that students don't go quote-unquote bankrupt. Okay, so if students lose all their points and they have to earn X number to earn something, and they know that there's not enough time in the day or enough opportunities to earn those points, then they may have no reason to behave, if you will. So if you've managed a token economy where students become bankrupt and then their behavior goes way out of whack, you understand that issue. So where students are earning lower and lower points, if you will, or missing out on points, we have to increase the possibility of catching them being good, if you will, and trying to deliver points. So it becomes more important under those conditions.